Good afternoon. Happy solstice to everyone. Happy summer solstice. Happened, I think, at 5:45 today. June 20th, 2024. Going to be doing a shotgun fast astro, then Aoki. The Aoki will probably be on Kick or Twitch. I am Sir Drusel on Twitch. Drusel will be doing karaoke tonight, and also Art World Ways of Being on Twitch. Sir Drusel will do that. It says Van Halen. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. I might switch over to Hendrix. Not sure. Like to keep it pretty unpredictable and wild, but this is going to be very predictable because we did Luminaries last night and just having spooky like poltergeist stuff with all my tech stuff for no reason. I'll do it fine, and then I feel so bad for Jamie as soon as she gets on. It is a cluster F S show. Keep it PG for the kiddies. Usually the Luminaries is not for the kids, but I want this to be at least. Because all of you kids should learn astrology. Because it's the real-time system. All right. So let's just get cracking here. So I'm just going to repeat exactly what I said last night. I even left the cards out for the poll because it was for the solstice and for tomorrow, the full moon in Capricorn at 29 degrees. So up in front of us is tomorrow's chart. Full moon in Capricorn, 29 degrees, sun, Cancer 1, the moon 1, Capricorn, Mercury 9 degrees, Cancer, Venus 9 degrees, Cancer, Taurus, Mars 9 degrees, Jupiter, Gemini, looks like 5 degrees. We'll check on the other side. Saturn 19 Pisces. It is, I think, going stationary retrograde soon, or is in the middle of that. It will be doing that until I think August 16th, or 17th or 18th, something like in that week. And yeah, basically, long story short of the podcast, there's three major echoes from 2020. I'm quoting Leo King and a lot of Molly McCord stuff. Those are YouTubers. And yeah, learning astrology on High Vibe. So these are his systems. He taught me solar astrology. So this moon is like an echo, a square position, I think, to the 0 Aquarius Jupiter Saturn conjunction. I'm bastardizing what he said, so go to High Vibe and sign up. But basically, the very important astrological events are going to be tomorrow, August, I think he said 16th, and then December 21st, the winter solstice. It is basically, for everyone out there, twin flames and just people into astrology and the normies, or whatever you want to be called these days. The rational people that are always right. Yeah. This is... Pluto will be going back into Capricorn September, I forget the day, but it'll be going back into Capricorn to 29 degrees Capricorn, this same degree that the moon is on right now, or transited into it'll start at 29 Capricorn this moon, and then it's at 1 Capricorn when it's exactly full. So it's a sort of warning, heads up about that time again, and the election that will be a major CF. I'm putting it out there, and I'm predicting it now that everyone should vote for Aradura Shiva, and then they came out with this Vivek, like Gen X Indian fake Brahmin, like, or Brahmin, real Brahmin, fake Indian, like, not as in he's not from India, as in he's fake as Obama was when he came out. No offense, I loved everything Obama said in 2008. It was awesome. He's the best as an actor. He's my favorite actor of all time. Best actor to ever live, Obama. Just like him, but he's like a Gen X, like more reasonable sounding Trump. But he backed out of the race, and everybody was like making fun of him for that. But like, what's really going to happen? Prediction, psychic prediction. I'm a Cancer, and an Aquarius, and I have a Grand Air Trine. What's happening is this Vivek guy is going to be Trump's running mate. Where did I get that info from? My psychic brain, and I can read the narrative now on both sides. So look out for that CF crazy show. But that will probably be happening around August into November, and November is when, the election is, but also Pluto, I think, actually is no longer retrograde in Capricorn, or it even comes back into Aquarius by then. But it's doing some sort of dance still, I think, between 29 and 0 for like an entire year, up until I think 2025 or 2026. So yeah, this is the beginning of the in-between worlds hellscape, but at the 21st degree in December, that, according to Leo King, that is the gate to the new dimension, basically. And where I suggest signing up with him, and I also suggest his Jupiter in Gemini cycle. It explains it really good. And if you have a Master 27 Capricorn like I do, or I'm sorry, Mercury Gemini like I do, you know how everybody tells you like there's no such thing as multitasking, and really the only people that can pull it off are Geminis, like, and you feel like a crazy jerk when you're doing it. The last couple of years for me has been like that. Like, I am literally juggling everything, and I'm always thinking like, stop doing this pattern. This is insane. It's actually the only way to make it through. So think of it that way, right? And what I'm finding is it's actually really good for, I got a lot of Aquarius and Libra and Virgo stuff. So very mentally, my problem is explaining everything like in detail, like from beginning to end, and having a consistent story, and actually saying something in the way that needs to be comprehended like a teacher, or just like a recording machine, a very patient person that actually says everything. So the podcast was going to be about like what's everything that's happening right now with the transhumanism and the Age of Aquarius ending and the apocalypse. I referenced my master's degree in film and my undergraduate in new media, which is basically transhumanism. So we're going to do that next podcast. Keeps seemingly getting harder and harder because everything I predicted in 2013 keeps happening. I have the intro to my master's thesis I'm going to play again. And we were talking about it. But, oh, thank you. I always do this to myself. Okay. Yeah, I set my alarms and forget that I set alarms. So anyway, now down to brass tacks. I'm going to talk like a schizophrenic maniac for a little bit because I already did this and I don't want to talk about it again, but it's in my memory banks now. So here we go. Looking at, it's really like these the Pluto, Mercury So the secrets of these charts, I'm going to skip over all the obvious stuff. And I'm going to go start straight with a... What the hell? What's going on? Okay. Oh, now it's all zoomed out and crazy. God, I hate iPhones. How do you guys use this bullshit? Oh, I did it. I broke my rule. I broke my rule. Okay, let's see. That Zoom worked. Okay, sorta. Ish. All right, good enough. So I'm gonna get right to the guts because I like the unconscious and the hidden stuff because no one talks about that stuff, and then they miss all the stuff, and that's all that really matters, especially as like a watery person. So this Mercury opposing the moon and opposing Pluto, and it's like a quincunx between the moon in the 12th house. Placidus, the 3D 12th house. So I'm going to try to say this in words that people that don't know astrology would understand. So there's going to be hidden strains between your feelings in absolute endings and beliefs, and it's going to cause a strain to the planet of potency, transformation, and death, Pluto, in your identity, the first house. So yeah, those beliefs and endings, that'd be the 12th house, Pisces house. But it's in Capricorn. So power, endings in feelings of power and career are having belief changes and absolute endings. Oh my God, actually, this makes way more sense. I should have done this the first time. And Pluto in Aquarius would be, death, transformation in the collective identity. We'll have a strain over to Mercury, Virgo. So your mind, your thoughts, your communication in the 6th house of health. So your health will be all fucked. And it's in a stellium with the sun. It's very close to Sirius and part of Fortune. I mean, there's a stellium there, look. I mean, it's a stellium for all of those things that I just said. The sun is still... No, the sun is in Cancer, so it'll be sincerity. You're going to have strains with the mother, your roots, family, and especially sincerity. I get that from the Peace Dealer. In the house of Cancer, with the house, in the zodiac of Cancer, in the house of Virgo, the 6th house, health. So that's a super CF identity flip-floppy, like humbling, the death of ego, I'd say. This is like a massive, the first house, death of ego, identity with Pluto there. Okay. So remember that combo that I just said there, specifically, up to Sirius. The star of pride and power and rising fast. I forgot the good elements. I looked at it. I think it's an awesome. My North Node and my Sun are. My North Node is conjunct Sirius, and my Sun is orbs that We'll just say. It was closer during my birth, I think. So this is really going to hit me super hard with part of fortune there. Sirius, Mercury. Part of fortune is like timing with everything. So I'm hoping all this is like good, actually, because I'm enjoying doing this astro. Venus there. The joy, fun, allure of life. And yeah, the soul, the personality, the ego also. And the father. So just adding little things in there. I'm saying all the things no one else is going to say. So I'm going to maybe just stick with that. I'll just be different. Like I always am. Yeah, Mercury is also having another quincunx inconjunct strain, that green dotted line, over to Sedna, that is in Gemini. Or is that, no, that's to Jupiter. Okay. It's over to Jupiter, the house, or the the planet of expansion, in the 5th house of love and children and art and passions in Gemini. See, I'm finding Jupiter and Gemini to be, for me, actually today, very transformative, in the sense that I was just saying I do everything all at once. In the story, Gemini for teaching, Jupiter and Gemini here especially, oh my God. This is like dealing with a bunch of children. This is, oh my God. This is exactly what this is. This is teaching kindergarten and elementary school through, like, you know, age 12, basically, before the kids start hitting, you know, the golden birds and bees ears or whatever. But this is them just sort of, it's wrangling kittens and children with puppies. And basically you have to just Terminator style pick the things that don't logically make sense, really, and are your favorite things ever. And I would never give that advice, but for me, I think that's what's happening. Like, I still have my toes in the reality, so I'm not homeless, which is actually my problem sometimes with manifesting. I'm a manifesting generator in the what do they call it? Oh, you know the things. You know what that means. Yeah, and like a 1-3. Name is slipping my mind, but it's Gemini at 9 times. So whatever. This is like a bad teacher, kind of. I feel like I have so much Gemini, but I never do it with teaching because I feel like it's lying. I feel like it's not telling the truth because it's not accurate. Really, I keep farting. I don't know if you're hearing that. Please forgive me. I think I'm allergic to dairy, but I love it so much. So, and I'm recovering from an illness. So, if you're hearing that, sorry. I'll stop drinking milk soon. I was drawn to it. It's probably to embarrass myself during this for fun. Okay, so the other green dotted line, or the strain, or the discomfort right now, is 26 Algol. My God. Don't lose your head over idiots is my life lesson with that. And I didn't put Nessus on this chart. Esoteric Sky is another astrologer guy. There's apparently some stuff with Nessus, and like Nessus and Algol are all tied to my twinny flame stuff. But in the podcast that I just died, we're putting the title in is self-twinning. You probably see self-twinning there. You know, it's like self-parenting in psychology, but I'm going to confess, I've told you little bits about the twin flamey stuff with me. I was really into a Luna Ash where they explained it as a very abstract, logical thing. When I first read it about it, they were saying you can have twin flame connections with like pets and shit, and like, long story short, it didn't describe it as like a romantic connection and like, but they always said you had one. So I had all these contradictions in my experience of the divine yin yang, anima, animus, you know, Gnostic sort of polarities of the twin flame journey with the divine feminine and masculine. In the cards, at least, I was always and I view it as I got all the water, I got all the Libra. I always viewed it as just you pull the tarot cards, whatever your chart is. And if you find some tarot reader that has a similar chart to you, that's a good person to watch, because they'll kind of confirm things for you that, I mean, it's best. People say don't pull for yourself. I think that's absolute bullshit. I also read with Reiki, so I don't even need to shuffle. I just rub my hands over it and I pick one. Like that. Not face up, obviously. And I do shuffle. So, anyway, very Gemini right now. But I'm making sense, I think. So yeah, Algol, don't lose your head over retarded idiots. Nessus, a lot of like demonic shit. Betrayal, I think. I am pretty sure. Yeah. Chiron, Nessus, and Algol all kind of have similar stories of bunch of pieces of shit putting their story on your life. Not out of divine intentions, but out of the opposite, out of boredom, losing their connection. So tearing down everything that has a connection, tearing the world down. And oh my God, look, Algol is having a strain. So Algol is in your values and your family as well. Jupiter in Gemini, was in love. And those aren't connected, but these are separate strains between Algol and Chiron. So coincidentally, I was just talking about those things. Back to wrapping up my twin stuff. Really like the Luna Ash and even Leo King not having a twin experience and just saying it's just the astro. He's been saying that the whole time. And he doesn't identify as a twin, neither does Molly McCord. But their astro really helps with all of this. So, yeah, your Algol is, people gunning for your head. I seem to have that going on a lot too. But, trying to hit you in your core, and your like mother, you're in your basement, basically. Your roots, trying to knock you off your toes and take your head. They do that. They take your head first by making you ungrounded, just tipping you over. And that's how they take your head. So they deal with confusion and trying to get you out of balance. I already made references here. Morgue Official just put out a video. I don't know if it was today. I watched the whole thing, but it was about fighting spirits. And I think he called it meta-rationalism. He seems to be like really into Gnosticism mostly. But something he calls, I think, meta-rationalism. anyway, what I was just describing about the anima and animus, he goes deep into that. And Carl Jung, just look up the recommendations I'm saying right now. And yeah, Algol over to Chiron, Aries, the identity, and the third house of communication, the Gemini house. So it'd be a strain. Oh my God, quincunxes to Chiron are very brutal because it's already a strain. It's a strain to your insecurities and your wounds. No wonder I was being so poopy pants. But on the 3D, returning to the 3D, so it's actually saying like super focus on the 3D and honing and harnessing that. It's almost like these planets are acting like archetypes or archons that would tip you over at your most beneficial time and moment, where we flip over to the opposite side of the positive stuff is all these trines and all these sextiles. Neptune rules this, the planet Neptune rules the hierarchy, planetary hierarchy, dispositor of this whole setup here, and that would be in like solar, traditional, astrology. But I think they have dispositors in modern traditional as well. But I think they show the traditional dispositor in this chart, basically. But that Neptune is also in the what is the house ruler? Okay. The house ruler, dispositor, is the sixth house. So there's a battle in houses. Well, not houses. The house, well, the planet wins because the planet takes hierarchy, but there's been a lot of squares and tension, and all of this stuff has been passing through Neptune. So there's already been a clash of the gods with like all the Cancer or the Gemini energy and the Cancer energy kind of with Neptune. But basically Neptune wins in a lot of ways, but the sixth house is the planetary dispositor. So all that part of fortune, that's a toss-up to me with the part of fortune and all that other Mercury and Sun stellium aspects going on. So this is probably Neptune wins, but use that Gemini as much as you can, as far as just kind of, it's ironic because it's like maybe Neptune is secretly helping here, making Cancer believe and Gemini believe in these delusional like things that they can do right now and go for it. And just kind of with the career and all that stuff, pick the most positive believing. It makes you, this energy is really good at chopping up your whole life and then having to come back and like test your beliefs to what you actually like now and who you are. Like, it really sorts out the priority hierarchy of needs of what you're going to be moving forward with from now on. It's going to be like a lot of radical shifts. Basically, your wires have been crossed and they're like starting to bring the balance back to what your soul and like purpose actually wants and needs versus it's going to be a lot of what I should do in 3D career wise versus what my soul is telling me that I need to do. And you kind of need to like at least come up with some sort of ratio where you're comfortable, going 100% Neptune or 30-60. I like that. I like that mixture. But yeah, I'm so Libra, I view everything as like not scales but like fractions. So that Neptune is in Pisces and it's in value, Taurus. So dreams, beliefs, endings, the home, at home, in values, Taurus, second house, or the house of Taurus. And that's is that trining as well? Okay, yeah, Pluto is trining well, Neptune's in the middle basically of Uranus and Pluto, and it's sextiling those. And I think Pluto is sextiling Uranus and Jupiter. Yeah, and when Jamie was on last night, she said Pluto and Jupiter were having an aspect, a positive. So, there's a strain between Mercury and Jupiter, but there's a trine between Pluto and Jupiter. So it's got a lot of very 3D oriented positive, like, the gods have to change their minds and switch places and come up with new advantage, evolve. Figure out basically what they must do. Or I don't want to go much further than that, saying that I don't think according to Astro, that I don't think there was a Chiron aspect, but it looks like there is on there. Maybe it's a partial square. Yeah, that looks like a square, moon square to Chiron, but it just might be an orb. Okay. So the moon is trining Mars as well. So beliefs, endings, feelings in power are trining values and male and energy and war in the roots, in your foundation, in emotional foundation, your family, the mother. Okay. And yeah, it looks like partial sextiles over to Mars. I'm sorry, Mars and Mercury and part of Fortune. All right, I'm going to move on from that, and we're going to look really quickly at everything I just said. So remember everything I just said. And let me move me over a little bit. This is also what we looked at. Well, really quickly, because I was talking about it, I'm going to show, because in your memory, this is the planetary rulership and the house or Dispositor. Dispositor, sign Dispositor hierarchy. Because Pluto is in Aquarius, the home of Uranus, at the bottom there. You can see that. And Uranus is in Taurus, the home of Venus. Therefore, it rules Mars, because Mars is also just entered Taurus. And Venus is in Cancer. And the Sun is in Cancer. But the Moon is a Capricorn moon. And the home of Saturn is Capricorn. And Saturn is in Pisces with Neptune. So that's how that planetary dispositor works. So that is usually winner chicken dinner for Neptune and Saturn in Pisces. As far as ruling the energy of the of this cycle, because energies are like eclipses and portals. So yeah, it'll echo for a little bit. It's kind of how time works. And yes, same thing. I don't know. I had to look this up. I had to have Jamie look this up, but yeah. Well, Venus is the ruler of the chart. You can see, or the house of Venus is the ruler of the chart, which Taurus and Cancer, I think everything is in the 6th house there. Or at least for Mercury. I said that wrong. Mercury, sorry. The ruler of Mercury, it's not Venus. The ruler of Mercury is Gemini and Virgo. But yeah, all of the Mercury is in the 6th house. Home of Mercury. So it's 6th house, like I said earlier, 6th house ruling Neptune. Neptune cycle, zodiac starting. Okay. So everything we just said about the sun and your identity in Cancer, or, the sun is the Leo planet. Self is in the 6th house, like I just said. But in the solar, it's in the 1st house of Aries, identity. So, So so it'll affect your health, but it'll affect your identity too. Awesome. Yeah, the Pisces house is 12, so the moon in Capricorn is going to be in the 12th house. Death, endings, institution, beliefs. By institutions, I mean like madhouses, and that's all the negative stuff with Pisces. But it's all the spirituals. It's your beliefs. It's the happy ending. What were you thinking about? Anyway, so Mercury in Cancer, yep, and Venus are both there. So yeah, refining. I say more refining. And yeah, 12 is just beliefs mostly. And media. And like art. It's like the rainbow unicorn. Yeah. It's like bridges, everything too. It's a bridge. Pisces is a bridge, and Gemini is a bridge. But yeah, Taurus, Mars, Taurus in the basement, 11. So Aquarius house, the collective, Jupiter, Gemini, love life, but in the 12th house as well, spirituality. Jeez. Hoy. Saturn in values, second house, 9, expansion, education, higher learning, adventure, house of Jupiter. Uranus. Yes, family. Already went over this. But yeah, all those trines. It's good to look back. So yeah, if you're watching this video, look back. Screenshot the chart. And then go back. And basically compare the solar. This is the traditional solar. These are basically like, this is the 3D basically, and this is like the 9D. This is how I interpret it. This is how it flows for me to say it that way. But yeah, the vertex is in justice and values too. Values in the 9D. Port of Fortune also. 6 and 1 again. Chiron 310. Career. See North Node again. Yeah. Well, yeah, communications and career, totally. It looks like it's gotta happen. You're supposed to be there, so all you can do is believe that it'll all be fine. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. As far as the astro, let me quickly show you. Let's do this one. Do I gotta do it that way? Can I do it this way? So this is what we got last time. Let's do it vertical. So yeah, I'll just do it this way, it'll look better. So the top is the divine feminine. The bottom is the divine masculine. I pulled these with Reiki, and this is kind of the story that they're telling. The world to the Page of Cups. And I get that the DM is probably the Page of Cups and the Page of Swords in this. But it's kind of good stories on both sides. It seems to be better. Not better. DM looks more like a redemption. I'm sorry, DF seems more like redemption, and the DM it seems more like initial progress. All right, yeah. So the world to the Page of Cups, to the Ten of Wands, to the Sun, to the Star, to the Eight of Cups, to the Nine of Pentacles, to the Eight of Wands. That's the DF. To the DM, which is the Page of Swords, to the the Five of Cups, to the Four of Swords to the Fool, which lined up, I mean, these lined up pretty well for me. I mean, the World, starting with the World, that's the most powerful card in the deck. I mean, to have the World start everything, 10 wands be endings, to have the Sun and the Star next to each other, I've never pulled that shit before, and the Nine of Pentacles, and I never pull the Eight of Wands. And this looks like, the card of spying or whatever. I don't really think, I mean, it is spying, but I think it's more like wanting to talk, like less creepy, normal. Page of Swords is more of a like Ernest goes to camp sort of page of Swords there. But hold on, I gotta get this light. I'll just hold the light down. Use this light. All right. Light stops working right when I go to this. Page of Swords, Five of Cups, Four of Swords. Lots of swords. Didn't notice that. Fool, well lined with this, the two suns there. It's double suns there. Aries sun, Mercurial psychopomp. Two of Swords. Man. I'm just going to pull it on down like a flashlight. Because I'm done. Alright. So after the Two of Swords, underneath the Star. And funny. Like, only sad card of the DM is like this Eight of Cups, and this is the happy, but I kind of feel like this is like I saw it coming, I can get over it sort of Eight of Cups, and this is kind of a more happy but also fake happy still. The Nine of Cups is always smug, always a smug. And then we got, and this is good news, the Hierophant. This is good news, especially with all the second house stuff going on. The two keys, I'd say makes me think of Chiron, especially the abundance, wealth thing, and the Algol stuff all lined up there. Like, don't let idiots make you lose your head, basically. And then finally the finally, I'll just do it like this. Jeez. There we go. So, ironically, the Divine Feminine got the word man, myself. So this is the anima and animus that I was talking about, dude. I didn't even mean to do that. To be one with yourself, to the one with the space around you as well. To be one, all, and everything. To be the symbol of the symbiotic shared expression of self and others. To be a part of a greater whole, solo yet integral to the shared tribal soul, global murmuration, cloaking and flocking with feathered inspiration 20. And I'm getting Pluto Aquarius off that, and all the Gemini Jupiter stuff, hardcore for the DM, or DF, sorry. Got the word man there, tripping me up. But yeah, it really is like the animus in the female, like being healthy, conquering all the toxic feminine still left that doesn't understand men, basically. That part, the alienation weirdness that both the sexes feel towards each other for not really fully understanding each other. That gets healed on both sides. Chaffinches, John, yes, that's right. Chaffinches, pink and cherub, yawning perfumed blossoms scent the air with clouds of comfort wrapped in wondrous wishes. Perfectly pastoral peace passes silently as a white heart glances up, nostrils flared, drinking in all the bliss that alignment offers. There's an 8. I get for Leo for 8. For me, personally. Win, bliss, comfort. That's definitely a Cancer feeling card, especially with that comfort. But yeah, even that, for the masculine, that's a very feminine card for the masculine. So I think the joy of the Cancer energy, like they'll have a breakthrough on like, no, that's the okay part, is when you feel the joy, not the, well, I get hit every time I feel joy, and you know what I mean, not that kind of joy. You know, like deep trauma shit of the opposite sexes, and it ties to, I would watch that Morgue Official if I were any of you. It just explains the psyche and archetypes so well. And this is basically what causes the imbalance in these archetypes of the opposite sex mostly. I do mean opposite, whatever your fluidity is, just the opposite of your fluidity, the things you avoid within yourself that you don't know if you don't like them because you avoid them and it's subconscious. Okay, that's it. I hope y'all have a wonderful solstice, and yeah, a happy full moon in Capricorn. It will be life-changing. Hang in there. It'll be intense. It'll be a doozy, but just follow that Neptune tomorrow, I guess, and just be aware of what's healthy. So it's like very mental health probably oriented, and by that I mean it's like a battle of the archon, archetype, whatever God's going on in ourselves. So that's it. Love y'all. Have a psychic, awesome, super, take it easy experience over all this. Just ground, and just believe in yourself. And it's just, it's that darkest before the dawn sort of shit, basically, but more like confusion before the dawn. All right, night.